like for them to make that first step. And even if they don't make that first step, we usually call them. And when they call us or we call them, first thing first, okay, what you want to do? We go out and we try to find them jobs, which is another reason why they go back to the juvenile justice center, because they think they can't find no job. So we try to help them find a job, and we also get them prepared, get back off into schools. So if they've been kicked out of school, okay, since you can't go back to school, okay, we're going to get you off in this GED program. And once we get them off in the GED program, and once we get them a job and everything, and we start the process of teaching them how to change their mindset. Just because someone says something to you does not mean that they're disrespecting you. So we try to change their mindset like that. We also teach them how to control their finances, not how to get in debt, and things like that. Teach them how to work on computers, how to type up things, type up resumes,
very
how to prepare
practical
yourself.
kinds of things that they can use in terms of their own responsibilities.
I mean, and also we might add that in addition to the vocational things that we're doing, we believe that you must not empower that young person without empowering the environment in which that young person lives.
Speak to that.
So very much so, we believe in making certain that that parent or that mother, that grandmother, that aunt, or whomever is that guardian for that child, that they're empowered along the process. Because if you're empowering that young person to excel, you now are nurturing a visionary. So it's very difficult for a visionary to operate within a household that doesn't believe that child is that they believe that child can actually make that vision come to fruition. So we believe in being able to uplift not just the child but the family. So there is very much a communal effort in terms of us making certain that we uplift the whole family, and we believe that through that upliftment that those folks are going to be better, productive members of society. So that is a very important role in terms of, we believe in us of creating a collective effort. And I think we've talked about so many times, and I think I talked with you, Dr. Haney, about the fact of us moving past the phase of identity in terms of who we are as organizations. If the middle ground is the life of the young man or the life of a child, it shouldn't matter if we're Genesis or whomever we are as an organization. We believe in a collective effort. We are very open to working with many organizations in this city, and we will partner with a lot of organizations in this city who may not offer some of the things that we will offer in our building. We don't believe that we have the end-all answer to it all, but what we do believe that we have is a radical choice, a radical view, an alternative choice that is working. And the success rate really kind of proves in the young men that we're dealing with. So we want the community to know that it is a collective effort. It takes all of us to make a difference.
And of course, Mr. Evans, when you first approached the juvenile justice system in reference to such an idea, what was the reaction, and how did they eventually come around to allow you to operate in that environment?
Well, at first they didn't believe that anything could really happen. Because they was like, the question that they asked me was, you got a 17-year-old young man who's reading on a 6th grade level and who is don't have a job, got a child, what you gonna do with it? So my response was, I'll be back. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with him. And so got with Michael and got with Sean, and we together have put together a very, very strong plan how we gonna change that young man and how we gonna, you know, with the help of God, just remold him and put him back off in society and show them that, hey, just because they said that y'all couldn't do it, hey, here's living proof right here that y'all, hey, we can do this thing.
And the juvenile justice system is willing to cooperate with you and allow you to deal with these young people.
They actually are endorsing us, if you will. We have 2 support letters, one from the juvenile court system and one from
the court system, the Davidson County court system, and one from the juvenile court center.
So we got they back.
You got their endorsement.
Exactly.
What you have to, so now you're in the process of trying to bring other elements into your program.
Yes.
And of course, we've got about 6 or 7 seconds before we end this segment. When we come back, we'll talk about the kind of support that you need. And of course, we'll be back with you following this short commercial break. Thank you and welcome back to this final segment of the show for today. We're talking to Mr. Eric Evans and Mr. Michael Pendleton, and the subject is Genesis and an effort to deal with youth incarceration. And of course, Mr. Evans and Mr. Pendleton, before we end this show for today, let's give you, the two of you, over the last 6 minutes to talk about what we might consider to be some of the needs that you have in order to try to do what the two of you are attempting to do. There's no doubt about the importance of what you're involved in, but how can our audience and other folks help you in what you're trying to do? Let's start off with you, Mr. Evans, and then Mr. Pendleton, you can assist us in trying to talk about the needs that this organization has.
Well, one of the biggest needs is just help from the support from the churches and from the community. Like right now, we'll organize a program on the 16th of February, where it's like a Hope Award show that will be taping live, and we asking all ministers to come out, check this thing out. That's basically what we need is support, and any financial help that the community can give.
It's recognized, Mr. Pendleton, that this operation does not operate without some kind of support and some kind of financial help.
Yeah, we just talked about us individually writing checks in the studio here, going around and letting folks know what we're doing. We certainly are in a position. With an awesome vision comes an awesome price tag. We will have a state-of-the-art facility right around the corner from you guys, not too far from you guys, over on McGavick Street, downtown Nashville. So we are looking, there are many ways that the community can support us. Through financial contributions, through our corporate campaign in terms of being able to sponsor the tuition for one of our young men who will be a part of our program. We certainly will have opportunities for folks to mentor in our program in terms of being able to offer those services if you have a business or if you own a business and would like for one of our young men to kind of serve as an internship program. Part of the thing that we're doing with our program is that after they're with us for a year, we want to also be able to begin some intern programs. And we want that kind of continued relationship with them and with the community. We're going to be doing several major events here in the city to make certain that the community know really what we're doing, from putting together a ministerial alliance, bringing together the top leaders in the city who are doing productive things. Eric had mentioned the fact of the Celebrity Hope Awards event that we're doing in conjunction with the International Art Gallery out of Atlanta. They now have a branch of the art gallery here. They're actually going to be designing our award for that Hope Award ceremony on the 16th. And there will be really a lot of ways that we'll see real soon through doing programs like yours and other media things that will kind of alert the community as we move toward that event as to how they might be of service to us.
And so what we're saying is that there is a real need, you believe, Mr. Evans, for what you're doing in order to try to reach out and touch and change some of the lives of some of these young men.
Yes,
Is that what we're saying?
Yes, it is. It's a very, very big need. Along with, like Michael said earlier, we willing to work with any other program, to make this thing happen. And if somebody got a really good idea, we willing to listen and see how we can change the lives of these young men.
And it attempts to reach into the prison system, into the criminal justice system, and bring these young men out and give them hope, I think, as both of you indicated, and to at least provide them an opportunity for not returning to incarceration.
Yes.
And because there's a lot, I understand that there's quite a bit of repeat. Some folks, I think, have referred to it almost as a revolving door.
Exactly.
That they go in and out and in and out.
Exactly.
So what the two of you are trying to do is to simply provide a method whereby we might break that cycle. Is that,
Yes.
is that
Well,
safe?
I mean, I think it's a chain that's not just going to happen through our program, but I do believe that we certainly are going to make a dent in that. We certainly are going to, one of the reasons why we decided to choose 30 young men, 10 in each age group from 10 to 13, 14 to 17, and 18 to 21. We want to make certain that we are definitely impacting their lives by making certain that we have that one-on-one kind of relationship with them. So from an educational standpoint, from a vocational standpoint, we will have that one-on-one attention, and that's what really will make us unique in terms of what we'll offer them.
And of course, such a program is a program that might not solve all of the problems.
Yes.
But the two of you are simply saying that unless something is done, that the situation is not going to get any better, and you've been astounded by the number of individuals that are incarcerated, that are caught up in the system, and in other words, so many lost lives. Is that what we're saying?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Very good.
And then we must do something about that. And I think we all have our own individual way of being able to do that. It may not be directly working through Genesis, but we all play a part, and that's what we're saying. And Genesis is a part, and we welcome the opportunity for anyone to be able to offer their service, to be able to contribute to that part. And again, we stress it is a collective effort. We believe just being on your program today is a collective effort of you recognizing the importance of the issue.
Very good. And of course, let me thank the two of you for coming by and giving us that excellent information about this organization and about youth incarceration and about some of the things that the average individual might be able to do to help alleviate some of the suffering, make things better. And let me thank you for doing that, and let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.